For nearly 34 years, Basic Software has been providing dealerships like yours with a dealership management system that is dealership-focused, success-driven, and competitively priced. Learn more at www.basic-software.com.
A lot of these type of buyers are doing a lot of research before they even come in and talk to a salesman. So our marketing efforts go around, having a presence on a website, on paying to get on some search engines, doing your home and garden shows, and trying to get your name out there as good as you can. So when these buyers have done their research and they're ready to buy, that they are coming to you to talk to you about buying something that you offer. So, we're looking at expanding into having an online shopping cart to buy products that we promote at home and garden shows and marketing efforts. So a lot of these buyers that do not feel comfortable talking on the phone, coming into a dealership, so they're able to get online and buy the product and have it delivered.
And in some cases, by having our pricing out there, we believe in just putting a fair price out there and letting people know what the real price is versus inflated pricing. One of the things is, a lot of times when somebody's buying their first compact utility tractor, they're not sure what they want, they're not sure what they can afford. By having more of that information online and available, they can do their research up front, they can come in better educated, a little more focused, which makes their time more efficient as well as ours. So just having more information available online has helped keep our customers informed and probably made it a more efficient business for us.
With a resource like John Deere Financial offering the programs, there's a lot of waivers, no interest, 0% interest, or low rate interest on all of our product lines that we're able to put a package together for our buyers. A lot of payment conscious customers are able to get the payment that gets it to their budget. And that has been a transition in our business. We're not used to talking that way. And we're really having to retrain ourselves to talk about payments and finding the solution for the customer, not just talking about the price of that tractor. And we do a lot of packaging, so if you package in the implements and attachments at the time of the purchase, and maybe even some service agreements, that may only change the payment $5, $10, $15. So educating our people on how to get that across to the customers is pretty important. And, it's good for us as a dealership and the customer able to get these purchases in an affordable way.
One thing I've noticed too is a lot of people move out to a property and that's their aspiration. They want to have their 2 acres or 10 acres or whatever that they can do landscaping and maybe raise a few animals. Often what they forget about though when they're going through the acquisition of that property is they get moved out there and they don't plan for the equipment they'll need to maintain their property, whether it's mowing or landscaping or even in some cases snow removal. And I had a good example where my neighbor moved in and needed a riding lawnmower, had never had a riding lawnmower before. So when I started talking to him about what he wanted to spend, he thought he needed to spend something under $1,000. So it was pretty limited on what he could buy, but we found a riding lawnmower that he could own for under $1,000. Well, that was all great until the first major snow came, and with a long driveway, he sold medical supplies, and he traveled quite a bit, and his wife and kids would be at home for 3 to 4 days at a time by themselves. And the first major snowstorm that came, and it was after we had moved away from there, but He didn't know anybody around that had a snow plow, and everybody else was snowed in as well. And his wife was stuck at home for 3 days without the ability to get out. All of a sudden, he needed a $15,000 or $20,000 tractor, and he went from not being willing to all of a sudden he needed to be able to fit that into his budget. So having the financing available, you know, was pretty critical to him, because they had not budgeted for that, so he was not able to write a $15,000 or $20,000 check and pay for the whole thing. But they could fit in a $300 or a $400 a month payment to their cash flow. So pretty critical in those situations, and it seems very common. So that's also part of our marketing, is how do we get in front of those customers sooner, because there is a trend that they move out there to this new property, and within 30 to 60 days they usually have to make a major purchase to do whatever it is that they want to do on the property.
A lot of time these customers come in and they think they know what they want, and a lot of them that are on a budget, you know, they come in, they only want to spend so much money, and what can I get for this, but is it really the best solution for them for what they need? And a lot of times, you know, our guys just need to ask a few more questions on, you know, what do you want to do with this thing, and what's the end result you want to achieve? You know, and we need to get them to think a little bit more about how are they going to remove the snow in the wintertime, or you know, do they need to move rock around the acreage or so? So being able to ask those questions and getting them to communicate with you, you're able to maybe put together a package, and sometimes that involves moving them to something different than they came in to buy.
It's very common that in the discovery process we end up having to talk them through, you know, budget, how much do you want to spend versus this one over here might meet your needs better, and ultimately they leave with a better customer experience. And it's interesting, if we do a good job of that, a lot of them 12 or 24 months later come back and say, boy, I'm sure glad you helped me make the decision to move over to this other product. Quite often, if we don't do a good job of that, they're back in 12 to 24 months wanting to trade that for what they really needed the first time. So it's a lot easier to do it the first time, slow the process down, and do it right up front.
I think budget is a lot of it, and lack of education. So it's our job to put together a package that helps meet, for one, meets their budget and their need.
You know, even to speaking to the mobile service earlier and selling service at the time of sale, some might look at that as salesmanship, but ultimately a lot of these customers, they want convenience, they want things to work when they get home. So if you can sell them a 2-year service maintenance package where all their oil changes, all of their maintenance are taken care of, they end up continuing with that in years beyond that, because it just makes it easy for them. It saves them time. They have a sense of security that way, that the product's maintained properly, and we have a very high rate of return business once people do buy a maintenance package with a machine. They often continue that for years to come.
These guys see, their first purchase might be from a box store. After they have it for a year, you know, what do I do? Where do I get the parts? Where do I get the service? So that's usually what opens the door for them to come talk to us about the complete package, you know, after the service after the sale.